session today is all about Microsoft Stream, around transforming your organization with live events, with mobile, and the integrations that Microsoft Stream has. So I'm Marc Mroz. I'm a program manager on Microsoft Stream.
And I'm Dwayne George.
Awesome. So we're going to start off with a silly video just to kind of lighten the mood. We did play this at Ignite, so if you were at Ignite, you've probably already seen this, but go ahead.
Are you tired of paying too much for your enterprise video solution? Then we've got a solution for you. Microsoft Stream is included in the Office 365 licenses. You get it as part of your enterprise licenses, your education licenses, and now you even get it as part of your small and medium business licenses. First-line workers can use Stream too to find and watch videos. Try it now. Just go to your Office 365 app launcher and click on the Stream tile. Microsoft Stream.
All right, so just a silly video to get started. So we are obviously our Microsoft Stream. And if you haven't heard of it, it seems like most of you probably have. So I guess who has heard of Microsoft Stream before? Awesome, most of the audience, so thank you for coming. For those of you who haven't heard of it, think of it as a YouTube, but for your enterprise. So it's an enterprise video system for video on demand and for live events. So let's get started with what we're going to cover today. So we just wanted to go over a couple of key takeaways as we go through the slides. This is kind of uber high level what we're going to cover. So we want you to understand that Stream is part of Office 365. It powers workflows and communications related to video. And the new live events capability is now generally available. You can use it for big and small events. And then also go get the Stream iOS and Android apps. And just in the last week, we rolled out the capabilities to be able to upload and share videos directly from within the app. So that's pretty cool. We do have these QR codes. You can go to those aka.ms links to download the app. So if you haven't done it, go do that. We would love you guys to try those out and give us feedback as well. I'll give you guys a second. A couple of you guys are taking pictures. Awesome. So let's jump in and talk first about Microsoft 365 live events. The reason we really built live events and we kind of up-leveled what we had originally built with Skype Meeting Broadcast is so that we can foster engagement between leaders and employees at all levels. What we really mean by that is that a single live event isn't just kind of a point in time. We believe it's part of a bigger ecosystem, this full life cycle of leaders engaging with employees in their organizations. You can obviously use live events for other types of live event scenarios, but the key thing that we built live events for was really around this employee engagement, with employees connecting with leaders. And it kind of starts with executives having, or leaders in your organization having top of mind topics that they want to discuss. Employees bubbling up the topics that they want to discuss themselves. And then that drives an agenda for the conversation. We probably have a live broadcast, and that'll have conversation as part of it. The live broadcast gets archived, and you can watch it again on Stream. We find that inside Microsoft, lots of people do watch the live event, but even more people watch it on demand after the fact, so that's very important. And then that drives more conversation and actions and things that, kind of this whole cycle of sparking innovation ideas and making leaders able to be responsive to their employees' needs and desires and latest kind of ground truth of what's going on in the company. And really the key outcome is around continuous engagement throughout your entire organization. So how that manifests itself and what we actually built was we built a solution that was not just Stream, was not just Teams, was not just Yammer. It was really a partnership between all three of our teams of what we ended up building, is to be able to deliver you this solution for live streaming that engages in conversations and all the things that we just talked about. So the way that you produce these events, you have two options when you think of the new live events capabilities. Option one is you can use Teams desktop app as your producer. So this is kind of called Produce in Teams, and you can broadcast your screen, webcam, simple out-of-the-box self-service. If you can use Teams, and if you can connect your webcams, and if you can screen share, then you can produce an event and send it out to have 10,000 people watch it. The second kind of live event production option that we have is what we call produced via an external app or a device. So this is where you want to deliver kind of studio-grade presentations. You want to have more high-profile events. You have multiple cameras. You have switchers. You have transitions, videos playing. You have lower thirds, and you're producing the event in that way. And in this case, you actually connect to Microsoft Live Events via external encoders, and that could be software or hardware encoders that support RTMP. And so you send that up to us in the cloud, and then we process it. If you kind of take a look at what this looks like kind of in a simple high-level block diagram, is you choose the place that you want to have the event be viewed, and that's where you start off for your scheduling. So if you started scheduling your event directly in Stream, then your viewers would be able to watch it in Stream. If you start scheduling your event in Yammer, then viewers would be able to watch the live event in Yammer, and the same thing for Teams. And then whenever you pick that scheduling option of where you want to kind of start, which means where you're end up kind of view, you have that choice of these two different options of producing the event. So the Teams desktop app or produced using an external app or device. And so we'll walk through examples of how both of these work in a second. But produced with the desktop app, you can have remote attendees join. You can do all these sorts of things. And then if you're using an external app or device, on the screen we listed a handful of ones that we've tested against our service, but we support anything that supports RTMP or RTMP-S ingest. So if your encoder isn't on this list, it doesn't mean that it wouldn't work. It just means we haven't necessarily tested it with it. The ones on the list have tested, and we have determined that they do work with our solution. So after you pick your production type and you're actually sending it in, then you would, the producer would start going live, and they would click a button either in Yammer, Teams, or Stream to run the event and kind of push it live. And when that happens, you're actually delivering all of that video up from either the desktop app of Teams, being the producer, or your own external app or device as the producing the event. And you would send that up to us in a single RTMP ingest or directly from the single video feed that in Teams. And then we're going to turn that into multi-bit rate. We're going to encode that in the cloud. And then we're going to deliver that in the cloud as well. So if you didn't have an ECDN solution, viewers would be just pulling that down directly from the cloud. Or if your network needs it and you want to kind of scale the delivery, optimize the delivery, and also get some benefits on what these ECDN providers give, then you can actually hook them in the middle. And so they've built plugins for our player where they're pre-integrated with our solutions, either on the Teams side or on the Stream side, and they come in the mix. And so they would come in the middle there, and they optimize the video delivery so that you protect your network. So if we go into one level deeper on the ECDN solutions, every video that you're playing, either from a Teams-produced event or an external app-produced event, is actually done unicast. So the person watching the video is going up to the cloud, the internet, downloading that chunk of the video. And if you had 10,000 people inside a single network, they're going to have 10,000 connections to the internet, and you're going to have your internet pipe be using all those downloads of that. But what the ECDN providers do is they come in the middle, and they actually cache it at their layer inside your network. So it helps you optimize that. Hive and Collective are peer-to-peer based solutions, so they have a little agent that you would install on your every user's machine, or they have WebRTC based solutions where it can just work in a modern browser. And then what that happens is as the video is being played, their little agent and their plugin determines, do I already have a copy of this video inside my little cache inside my device? If so, I'll serve that. If not, I'm going to go look in the peering grid, so someone near me, someone down the hall, someone upstairs, I'm going to fetch it from their machine peer-to-peer. And if we don't have that, then it's going to go to the internet and actually download that chunk. So they improve the efficiency of your network, protect your internet bandwidth from that. And then Ramp also has a solution. They have two solutions. One is called OmniCache, and one is called Multicast Plus. OmniCache is a cache proxy, so it's a VM-based solution deployed in your network. It's completely on-prem. You route the traffic through it. It's got hard drives in it, and you kind of cache it and serve from those devices so that not everyone's going to the internet. And they also have a multicast solution that works for live, where it's a full sender and receiver little agents, and you're sending it through your multicast-enabled device, and it's just that one feed of the live event going through, and everyone pulling it off your network. And then Hive and Collective also have capabilities around reporting. So you see their charts that you see in the middle there. They have some really great reports in terms of quality assurance, who's watching from where in the world. So they have all those sorts of capabilities built in. So you get that as a benefit as well if you hook that into the Microsoft 365 Live events. So with that, I'll start with a demo of the first example that we showed of a production in Teams live event. So this is going to be using Teams desktop app as my live producer. So I'm going to go ahead and get into Teams here. So in Teams, I'm going to start in Teams, so the viewers will actually be in Teams, as I mentioned before. And I'm just going to click Schedule a Meeting. And I'm going to switch this to New Live Event. I'm going to give it a title. And I can add other producers or presenters. So I could actually have other people remote join in and be a presenter on the live event itself. We go ahead and click Next. So here I have a couple of options. I could make it be to specific people. I can make it org-wide in my organization. This environment doesn't have the public option enabled, but you could have these go public as well. And then this is where you see that you have those two options in terms of producing it via Teams or via an external app and device. So in this case, I'm going to show you the Teams flow. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on Q&A so that we can see what the moderated Q&A looks like as part of the live event. I'm going to go ahead and click Schedule on that. And this is where you would grab the attendee link. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that link itself and actually have this user over here join directly in the browser. They won't see anything yet, but I just wanted to get it going. I'm going to have them go in the web. And then if I jump back over to here, now I'm joining the live event as a producer. So this is the person who's going to be running the event, picking what goes live. So as I'm joining here, you'll see that you get a slightly different display than what you would for a regular Teams call, because this is a live event. And so these live events are meant for up to 10,000 people watching the same live event. You get a couple of display options here. So let me just maximize this. You can have a single piece of content, or I can actually have kind of a two-up view. So if I go ahead and I share my screen, and I pick my slides that I want to show, so I can actually come in here, put that as the content there, and then I can actually add my video over here. And then I can go ahead and hit Send Live. So Send Live is going to send this over into the queue of what's going to go out. And as soon as I hit Start over here, it's actually going to now start presenting out to the viewers themselves. So I'll switch back in a second and view what the viewer looks like. From the producer standpoint, I do get a couple of things over here. So I can have this moderated Q&A. So the moderated Q&A is a way to have your attendees ask questions live. You can answer them, that sort of thing. So I can go ahead and make an announcement. We are starting soon. Go ahead and hit Send. And now the viewers would actually end up seeing that on the other end. So as people ask questions, they would come up here and show. And so as a producer, I can pick, if I had multiple people coming in and their webcams were on, I could pick and choose which webcam goes live. I could queue it up, and then send it over to the live event. So you can do a pretty awesome set of production experiences just using the Teams desktop app. It's pretty self-service. Most people can figure it out and kind of use it. If I switch back over as a viewer, you can see that the live event has started over here. I'm just going to mute it so that we don't get double audio. So you can see this is what's being presented. I can see that the moderator said we're starting soon, and I could actually ask a question live here. So if I wanted to ask a question, what are we doing about the building moves? I could ask that question as anonymous or with my username attached to it. So I would go ahead and ask that question. If I toggle back into the producer view, you can see that new questions come in the queue over here. And so I can see that Marc asked a question. I could either dismiss that if I didn't want to let other people see that, or I could click Publish, and that now makes that question able to be seen by the other attendees. So again, as a viewer, I can now see those questions, which ones are featured, which ones are my questions, which ones came in from other people. So if I start in Teams, and I use Teams as my desktop producer, I can actually have people view it directly inside of Teams, and I have this moderated Q&A. Did you have a question?
Yeah, can you make the screens bigger, like the content or the video?
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to gloss over that. Thanks for pointing out my problem here. I'm not sure what. I think it's because I changed the resolution of my display right before the demo, but it will be.
So the content would be full screen?
Yeah, you could share full screen, or you can share your desktop. Like if I switched over and shared my desktop, it would probably look better. Let me see if I do that. Stop sharing, shared, and I did my whole desktop. Add content. There you go. So it was just some thing because I changed my resolution of my monitor. But so I hit send live, and so now that full desktop, whatever I'm sharing on my desktop. So if I had my slides up or that sort of thing, or I was sharing on a second monitor, it would definitely work.
That was when the show also, their video showed now, or did it only show when you made them active?
It would only show when I made them active. So I choose to queue it up, and then they're live, and then their screen sharing would come through. So in a couple of seconds, there is probably about a minute delay between what you send live and what comes out on the other end. So in a minute, it would show up here as well. But I'm going to go ahead and end this event. And I'm going to go ahead and leave. So that was the first type of production experience. So back to that, the slides. So if you look on here, it was this top level here. Give it a second. This top level here where we were using the Teams desktop app and I was viewing it. Now I'm going to go through the bottom level where I can produce it using an external app or device. So we'll go ahead and show that off. So we'll be using a third-party encoder. So for this demo, I'm going to be using a OBS, which is a free software encoder directly on my PC. And I'm going to start in Yammer. So I'm going to have viewers watching it directly in Yammer so you can see that flow. So if I jump over into here, into Yammer, so you can see in Yammer, if I want to create that live event, there's a couple of requirements. One, the group has to be Office 365 group enabled, and I need to be the admin of the Office 365 group, of the Yammer group. And if I have those things both be true, I have this little create a live event down here. When I click Create a Live Event, today it actually launches me into Teams to do the scheduling. We are working on smoothing out some of these flows here a little bit, but I can say New May Live Event, Town Hall. It looks very similar. I can add other people to be production, which would have access to the live event. I can go ahead and click Next. And in this case, because I want it to house and be in Teams, I'm going to use an external app or device. So in these cases, it's auto going to be recorded and saved to stream. And I can turn on captions. These aren't real-time captions during the event. This is after the event turns from live to VOD. I'll be able to get those captions. I'm going to go ahead and click Schedule. I could get a link for one of these. I could get the link to Yammer, I could get the link to Teams, or the link to Stream, depending on where I wanted my attendees to watch. In this case, I want people to watch in Yammer directly. And I'm going to go ahead and click Join. So as I click Join, so it looks similar to that other experience, but it's not quite the same. I'm going to go ahead and start up the channel. And then I'm going to click this link over here to say that it's powered in Stream. So I'm going to open it up in, oops. Sorry, I have multiple. My default desktop app isn't here, so I'm just going to go over to my videos and you'll see that this new event shows up as my videos directly in Stream. And I just wanted to come over into Stream to show you, so I can do this whole flow. Sorry, not sure what that was. So I can do this whole flow directly inside of Stream, or I can do it in Teams. But I came over here just so that I can show you that there is this ability to connect to different encoders directly here. So a handful of those encoders that were on the screen, if you come into Stream, we have kind of one-click things where I can switch, click a link, open in Switcher Studio, or I can configure it manually. So it looks like I'm getting an error message, but I'm going to go ahead and see if this works. I'm going to open up OBS. So OBS I already have, so this is my whole production experience. So I already have kind of a couple of scenes set up, but I'm going to go ahead and go to Settings, Output, and I'm just going to Stream. I'm going to paste in this link. I'm going to hit Apply, hit OK, say Start Streaming. know if this is going to work. Let me see if it's coming through here. So I'm sending it through, and it's just my title slide. Let's see if it comes through in a second. This is riveting, folks, riveting. All right, there it goes. So what I was sending through is coming through here. And you can see this is my what I have set up in OBS. Awesome. And so OBS gives you a lot more control. So like I said, there's two types. The desktop app gives you the control that it has, but if you want something further, you can use your own encoder. So in this case, I have my own set of scenes set up. So I created this starting soon slate. I actually have text here. If I wanted to edit the text, I could actually jump in and change the text directly on the fly and actually say we're starting at 11. It was delayed a bit. I have background music kind of playing, all that sort of stuff. I can have multiple cameras hooked in. So here I have camera A. If I had a lower thirds, I can go ahead and add those. Here I want to put in, hey, this is Patty, our CEO, so I can have those come up directly. If I had multiple cameras, I can do overlay. So if you had someone doing sign language, you can put that video in the corner. If you had multiple cameras, you can switch to camera B, switch back to camera A. So it gives you a lot more control in terms of what you actually can produce and what you can send through into the stream. So this is all running here. So let's now switch back to Yammer and see what's going on in Yammer. Ooh, I forgot to start the event. That's the problem. So I'm going to go ahead and say start the event. There was nothing happening in Yammer because I forgot to start the event. So as soon as I start that event, it's actually going to now send it up. So this was just kind of a preview view of you as the producer seeing what's going on. And now that it's going through, it should show up here in a second. So there you can see Yammer put a little notification. I would have gotten a notification on my phone via the Yammer app. I can see that this new town hall is starting. There's a little indication that this group event is going. And if I click on it, now I'll actually get into the Yammer event directly here. And so this is a Yammer event page directly for this individual event. So the questions I ask are all going to be related to and tied to this event. So I can say, ask the question here, when are we getting new offices? And I can post that, and so other people can interact with those conversations and that sort of thing. And as I click around, I can actually, the video will dock nicely in the corner. I can see what are the other questions that were asked in this Yammer group, and then the video will kind of follow me along as well. And so it's really, when you connect it up through Yammer, it's really a great way to not just have it be a live event and be a single thing, but it is actually kind of a living, breathing community, right? And so questions are coming up before the event, after the event, during the event. People aren't just answering them during the event itself, but they're going to answer them before and after. And so it brings people into Yammer, has conversations, and connects people with their leaders and those that are running these kind of bigger live events for the company. So, so that's kind of the demo of all of that. I'm going to shut this down so that I don't eat up all the bandwidth. And I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. So if we switch back to the slides, we are going to go to kind of switch topics here now in a second. And Dwayne is going to take us through a bunch of information about the new Stream mobile app.
Cool. Thanks, Marc. Slides over. No, don't worry. Cool. How many of you guys have heard of or are aware that we have a Stream mobile app? Just by show of hands. Okay, some folks. And how many have tried the mobile apps? Okay, still have some people, okay. Cool. So, as you know, Stream's mission, our biggest goal is about democratizing video. What that means is enabling folks from all levels of an organization, whether you're a junior employee all the way up to the CEO, or in the education space, if you're just a student, all the way up to the school leadership, to be able to watch, create, and share video. And the mobile story that we have ties into that by enabling users to do that from anywhere. The most convenient device a user has, the most convenient camera is always the one that's on you. So it's in your pocket and is your phone. So what can you do with the Stream mobile apps? These screens show a high-level view of the capabilities that the apps provide already. So from the mobile apps, I can go and browse, find content that's relevant to me via Discover, or I can also search for it using Stream's deep search capabilities. So if I were to put in a search query, I can go in and actually search the transcript and jump to specific points in time that particular statement or query hits a match in that particular video. In addition to that, users can engage with content via likes and comments. I can go and watch the content, talk and engage with other people who have also watched it through our comments. And I can also take that content offline and take it with me. So one of our biggest scenarios in the apps is enabling users to take content with them and really consume it anywhere that they want. So whether that's, I missed a meeting today, I couldn't make it because I had a conflict, right? I download that later while I'm still at the office, I get the recording, and then I can go watch it on my commute home. That would be a good use case of how customers are actually using the feature. So next slide. I'll actually demo that for you. So let's switch over to the mobile app really quickly. Cool, and we'll just jump right in. So here's the Stream mobile apps on iOS. So when you open the app, you land on Discover. So this is a view of content that's just trending in your tenant based on what other people in your tenant or organization are already watching. So I'll flip through here, maybe I find something that's of interest. We'll see, okay, we have some town hall highlights. That sounds kind of interesting. So we'll just make this available offline. And as you see, it'll start downloading. We'll see how it goes. And I'll just tab over to offline videos. So all your offline videos will appear in this view, and then boom. It's available for you to watch without connectivity at any point in time, whether I'm on a flight or on a commute, or I just don't want to use my cellular data. I can watch this wherever I am. Our offline videos are convenient because they're secure and compliant. You don't have to worry about content getting mixed with other content on your device because it's stored in the app sandbox. It's secure, it's encrypted. Other apps can't access or tamper with it. So you don't have to worry about your content and the pride's content getting lost somewhere else. So we'll just flip back over to the slides.
The other cool thing about the offline videos is that we actually do enforce that you actually still have access to those videos. So every 7 days, we force a check of whether this video is still valid. Do you still have permissions to it? Does it still even exist in Stream? And if not, then we're just going to auto-purge it from the device itself. So even if someone takes it offline, they're going to be forced to go back on the internet within 7 days to check that they actually still have permissions to it.
Yep. Cool. Our next scenario is Stream Mobile Record, Upload, and Share. So this is our newest feature that we've recently rolled out in the mobile apps. This was one of our top customer asks, so we're very excited to make this available, generally available in iOS and Android. Upload and Share and Record is going to be following very soon in the coming 3 to 4 weeks. So I'll jump back to the phone view. Cool. So the entry point, you're just gonna go tap this plus button, and now I can go to create a new video. So I can either pick a video from my camera roll, I can pick it from a cloud service such as OneDrive, Dropbox, or other cloud storage option that you happen to use, or I can just record a new video right now. So let's go ahead and try that. Cool. We'll just flip it this way. All right, so this is actually a pretty cool moment. So let's actually share this with our team back in Redmond. So I'm gonna go ahead and record. Hey guys, we're at SharePoint Conference in Las Vegas. We're sharing our new record, video feature. And I'll just show the great crowd that we have with us today. Say hi to the team. All right. Cool. So now I can see a preview of the video. We'll just keep that mute. And you'll be able to trim. So you'll be able to trim heads and tails because you never actually get the video recorded just at the right moment that you want. You can review it. Okay, cool. This looks good. We could see the crowd. And let's go ahead and use this video. Cool, so as soon as I select the video, you see upload immediately starts, and we can go ahead and provide some data for what this video is. So we'll say SharePoint Conference 2019 session. I'm gonna put a hashtag in the description really quickly so that other people can find this easily. SharePoint Conference 19. Cool, and it's in English. All right, next. Now, sharing content is really easy in the mobile apps. We added this new quick share feature where basically by default it's on, and if I'm happy with my video at this point, I just hit publish and then it's out. It's very, very quick to get your message out to the people who will be interested in watching this video. If you're not ready to publish right at the moment, you can decide to turn that off and save it as a draft for later editing or providing more details on there if you just want to deal with it later. But for now, we'll just turn that on. In settings, you'll be able to turn on or off the people, comments, or captions, auto-generated captions, whether or not you want. By default, those will be on. We'll just leave those as they are. And now I'm gonna publish it. And I'm pretty much done now. That's it. My video is published. I can opt to share it because now that it's up in stream, I actually want the people who I want to see, who I want to connect with this video to see it. So I'm just gonna tap on Teams. Okay. I think Marc would be pretty interested in this. And by default, I could send this to him via Teams and he'll get this link and be able to watch it. Cool, and that's it. So we're just gonna hop back to the slides. All right, and now Stream mobile app and Intune integration. The Stream mobile app is secured by Intune so that admins are able to ensure that enterprise content remains secure in the user's personal device environment. This is important for many enterprises because it's a concern whether the data that the enterprise has is going to get lost. That's a very big deal. So our integrations with Intune allow admins to ensure that their content is secure, that it won't get mixed with personal content, and that it will be safe in the event that that device gets lost. They'll be able to remotely wipe a device in the event that it's stolen or the user happens to lose it, and that ensures that the content remains safe and secure. So now I'm going to demo this quickly, and we're going to jump into the Azure portal where you're able to set and configure Intune settings. Cool. So this is the Azure portal. You can access this by just going to portal.azure.com. In the search bar, you'll type in Intune, you pick your Intune profile, and then you land in the Intune Azure Blade. So from here, I can see these are my app protection policies. These are policies that have already been created. So we see we have these Android and iOS app data leak prevention policies that have been enforced on all apps. We're gonna go ahead and quickly just create a new policy right now. So I'm going to give it a name, data leak prevention policy. And we're going to pick a platform. We'll target iOS since that's what we're demoing. And we're going to pick all app types. And now you select the apps that you want to go ahead and target. Let's go pick Microsoft Stream for iOS. Cool. And now under the settings blade, this is where you pick all the policies that you want to go and apply. So under data protection, you'll be able to see all the types of policies that apply to preventing data from getting mixed between personal data on the device and the user's enterprise data that stays within the context of the app. From here, I can turn on or off settings to enable or disable data transfer between iTunes and iCloud, our app and other apps, and the settings regarding receiving and sending data or making copies of that data across the device. Under access requirements, I can set some requirements around requiring a PIN in order to use the app. So I can set a PIN, I can set various parameters regarding how long the PIN is, how strong it has to be, and using biometric identification like Touch ID, etc. Conditional launch, from here I can go and set parameters regarding, policies regarding the number of PIN attempts, an offline grace period for using the app, as well as device conditions such as blocking apps that, devices that don't meet a certain operating system version, as well as blocking jailbroken or rooted devices. Cool. Go ahead.
Does this Azure require different licensing
No, so this portal.azure.com, this isn't tied in any way really to your Office licensing. You can access this just by logging in to your subscription, and any license that Stream supports, you'll be able to set this. Yeah. Scope tags, this is just tagging specific users within the context of the number of people who can use the app. This looks good, and we're gonna go ahead and create it. So, boom. There we have our data leak prevention policy, and it's targeting all iOS users with the policies that we just set. I'm gonna jump back into the slides. Cool. And that's Intune integration on using Azure Portal. Now, Office 365 integrations with Microsoft Stream. Stream is a part of the Office 365 suite, and as an Office member, we integrate with a bunch of Office products across the suite to enable rich experiences between all the other services like Teams, Yammer, OneNote, SharePoint, PowerPoint, and Forms now. So we're going to go through some of those integrations and show you the new capabilities that we've recently added to our product. I'm going to jump into demoing Teams now. Go ahead and leave. Teams. Cool. So this is a Teams team, and we're looking at the brainstorming channel under Bright Insights. So now what you can do is add a channel, add a tab to this particular team channel to go and see the stream videos or stream channel for this particular tab. So to do that, I simply hit the plus button, I pick stream, and then I specify either a video URL or a channel URL. And then once I've done that, just jump to the finished product. This is a channel in Teams now. So this adventure travel channel has a bunch of videos that are relevant to this particular context, and users can easily collaborate and access that content directly from within Teams. Another capability that we have in the Teams app is now we can auto-record meetings and send that up to Stream. So this is a meeting that was recorded by Marc. When it's done, you get this card view of that meeting, and I can easily jump in and watch it. All the members of that meeting will have access to the video, and it makes it very easy to get back to that content, as well as since all the recording is done in the cloud, it makes it very easy for this to be pushed up to Stream and then get to this after the meeting. We're going to jump into Yammer. Cool. So here's a Yammer conversation, and it seems like we have some conversations going on about building moves. I'm going to drop in a video into this particular conversation. So we have a video right here, and I'm going to drop it into this reply, and we see that the video unfurls. It shows the link. You can easily jump and watch the content in line. It's very easy to get to, and it shows up in a inline experience. And now we're going to jump into our OneNote integration, so I can also insert videos from Stream directly into OneNote. So if I wanted to drop in a piece of content that was relevant to the particular thread or the note that I was creating, I can easily do that, play the content, add it to my watch list or like, and it's right there inline playback.
Cool. So continuing on some of the other integrations. So like as you can tell, Stream is a destination. It's a portal where you can get access to the videos, but we also know that people don't hang out there. And so that's why we did a lot of these integrations of being able to put them into Teams and into Yammer and into OneNote. One of the other cool things that we have is a web part for SharePoint Online, the new modern pages. So you can go ahead and insert a web part. You can pick whether it's a single video and insert it in there. It's responsive as you change the column widths and how many pieces of content are on the page, it responds. There's that same channel embed that you saw in Teams. I can click and play these videos now directly in line inside of SharePoint, same as I could play them in Teams. So I don't have to go to Stream to watch the content. I can actually just do it directly in line where I'm looking at. And then just in the last couple of weeks, we added a new web part type that is kind of a search web part for Stream, where it actually can go and find videos across your entire Stream instance and put them here. So you can put it in a hashtag and find all the videos on a specific hashtag. They don't have to be from a specific group or channel, but it'll go and search and find those. And we also have sort options to be able to put them here. And again, these are all responsive, and you can see them exactly how you have them. The last thing we wanted to, this is the regular Stream web part, and it just has a couple of new options now. The other thing that I wanted to show off is our integration with Microsoft Forms. So Microsoft Forms is a really cool tool for creating quick surveys or polls and quizzes and that sort of thing. And so what we did is we did an integration with them where you can actually embed a form inside of a video. So you can actually make your videos now be a little bit of interactive, where you can actually have some content. So on this one, you can see this interactivity tab that's now in Stream. And you can see that there's this growth strategy form directly inside of it. So if I go ahead and play the video, it'll go ahead and you can see there's a little dot. So when it gets to that point in time where the growth strategy is, the form will automatically pop up, and you can actually play that video directly in line. And so now it'll load that form directly on top of the video. So I can take the little quiz, the little poll. I can give the answer back to the content owner about what it is that they're asking me. Also great for kind of education spaces. You can make little kind of learning training tools in education. So I can go ahead and give an answer, submit that up, and then all the results of that would be in Forms, just like any other form. This is just embedded directly on top of the video, and then I can go ahead and continue playing the video. So really cool way to make videos not be just a one-way street, I'm just watching. Now we can actually have them be where you can give information back to the person on what it is that they're presenting. The last go ahead, question? Yeah, it's just because on here I had already looked at it once, and so it doesn't do it again. So had it been fresh for me, it would have just auto-opened it. Yeah, we don't have any sort of integration where like you force a specific answers or make them do it right. It's really just the form and the information. This is kind of step one in interactivity. It's step one in kind of doing lightweight learning on top of videos. Over the course of time, we may come up with fancier things where you force certain answers, and as we go deeper, this is kind of a baseline first MVP of getting the form loaded in there and going. The other thing that I want to cover today is integrations with PowerPoint. So you may have seen how you can actually create recordings directly in PowerPoint, and I'll show you that in a second. But one cool new thing, it's not released yet, but it should be coming in the next month or so, is I can actually insert a stream video directly inside a PowerPoint. So here, if I go into presentation mode for this video, you can see this is a stream embed directly inside of it, and I can go ahead and click play, and it's now going to play that stream video directly inside my PowerPoint deck. So a lot of times, you put videos inside of a deck, it inflates the size of that deck, it makes it massive, you can't share the deck around, it's just way too big. Now you can upload the video to Stream, grab the URL to that video, and go ahead and put it into the deck. And that'll work just with this insert here. You would just come to insert video, insert online video, and just paste in the link to the Stream video, and it'll drop it in as you saw it. So that's not available yet, but that's coming soon. The other cool thing that I wanted to show off around PowerPoint is work that we've done to enable the ability to create videos from PowerPoint itself. So this isn't a new feature. This has been out for a little while. But PowerPoint has this really cool thing that isn't enabled by default. But if you go to File Options and you go to Customize Ribbon and you scroll down to the section here that's Recording tab, and you click the Recording tab, what that gives you is a bunch of different options. It gives you the ability to record yourself giving the slides. It records allows yourself to do a screen recording, so I can draw on part of my screen over here. So I wanted to record this, do a little screen recording. I can do that. It'll give a countdown. It'll use my mic. It'll record, and as I'm doing stuff and scrolling on the page, it'll capture all of that. And it sticks that screen recording directly into the PowerPoint itself. And then now it's a video. I can trim this. I can reposition it. I can do whatever I want as that is a video inside of it. The other thing is that this recording tab does is being able to record my slides. So I'm going to go ahead and record my slides over here. Yeah, when you do the screen recording, it does put the video directly in the PowerPoint. It doesn't auto do that to stream. You guys can't see the presentation view that I have over here, but my camera's up in the corner. And as I decide to ink on the slides, so if I wanted to underline stuff over here, you can kind of see if I draw on the slides, as long as I click record, it's going to remember all of those clicks, all of those actions, all the screen inking that I've done. As I advance to the next slide, as I do the builds, the timing of all this is going to be remembered as I do this recording. And then when I hit stop, it's going to allow me to get out of this view, and it's going to put all of that directly. You can see the video in the corner. I can move that around. I can do that sort of stuff. I could export that as a normal MP4 directly, or I could click Publish to Stream. I click Publish to Stream. I can give it a title, give it a description, choose what my permissions are, and click Publish. And when I click Publish, it'll just render out a video on my laptop and then upload that directly to Stream, which is pretty cool. And then if I go and I uploaded one of these previously, so let me just show you what this ends up looking like so you can kind of get a sense of what the end result is. So you can see there's the slides. You can see my recording in the corner as I'm underlining, so it remembers all that specific inking as I draw on the slides itself. And then as I click to the next slide, you'll see all the animations. So if you can add some pretty cool animations, the builds on the slides all come in. So it's a really great way to make some pretty powerful presentations, really useful for how-to videos, for learning. And people don't have to learn really new complicated video editing tools. They can just use PowerPoint as it is and kind of fill it in with some videos and the screen recording and them talking over their slides. So a pretty cool way to put stuff into Stream. So if we switch back to our slides, so that covers a bunch of the integrations that we have with Office 365 and how it kind of works. So we're going to cover, if you went to one of the other sessions, you've probably seen some of these slides, so I won't spend a ton of time on it. But this is really our roadmap of things we're working on. So the first column is around what's available now. So that new option we talked about with the all-of stream where you can run a little search query, so that's new. The interactive polls and quizzes, that's not out right now. We're rolling that build out right this second. So this week it's rolling and next week it's rolling. So probably in the 1 or 2 weeks, your tenant will have the capabilities for those interactive forms to be inserted in there. The mobile upload and share, that just released in the last week. And then we also added, we didn't demo it here today, but we added a couple of new admin settings. One, to disable people timeline. We've gotten feedback that as people are doing some reviews of that, they're concerned about the face detection that's in there, so now we have an off switch, so you can turn that off at the tenant level. And we also changed the default upload permissions, so you can choose whether the checkbox for allow everyone to view this video is checked by default or not when people upload a video, so that's a new setting. Live events is generally available, and we deployed to a bunch of new data centers. And the middle bucket is things that are targeted for this year. Some of those things in the bucket will ship very soon. Some of them will take most of the rest of the year to do. One of the number one things that I hear as I talk to customers is replace video and keep the same links. So that's in process, almost done right now. We're just fixing the bugs on that, so that's going to roll out in the next month or so. That's so if, like, say I uploaded a video, I sent out a link in an email or embed codes, and I need to change something about it, there's something wrong on it, the content needs to change, I can just replace that video, keep the same links, so that's coming very soon. We're also adding a recycle bin for if you need to recover a deleted video. Today, when you delete a video on Stream, it's just gone away. Now we'll have a recycle bin. That Stream embed in PowerPoint that I showed off, that's not released yet, but that's coming soon. And we're adding a bunch of new stuff about mobile, about groups and channels in the mobile device. Those of you that are on Office 365 Video, we are continuing on that path to move Office Video to Stream. We've moved about 15 or so customers so far already with the migration. We're finishing the last bugs so that we can actually enable it in the UI where anyone can click the button and move their tenant over from Office Video to Stream. So I'm hoping that this is really the last round of bug fixes before we can enable that in the UI. And then we're also building some really cool things a little bit further out around trimming videos. So like being able to mark the end and beginning head and tail and trim that off directly in the web UI. Say it's a live event, you started at 30 minutes early, you can just trim off that in the front, or even if it's a meeting recording and people are chit-chatting in the morning, which the example you gave me in the audience here, you can trim that directly with that feature when we have it. We're also working on kind of a native web-based screen recording, external sharing for public, anonymous, and guests, and then stuff that's a little bit further out is public REST APIs for uploading, viewer analytics, e-discovery stuff, retention, legal hold, and then also integrations with search. So just to fully recap kind of the key takeaways that we were driving for as part of this session. Stream is part of Office 365. It powers workflows and communications related video. The live event stuff is available now. Go use it for your big and small events. And then go try out those mobile apps. We would really love for you guys to try and use those and give us feedback on those.
Yeah, get the apps.
We also have a couple of more sessions. So there is a session that I'm doing with one of our engineering managers at 2:30 today about deep dive on admin capabilities and on how Stream is actually built. So you can actually understand the architecture, how data flows through stuff. And then we're doing a whole session just on live events on Thursday as well. So that's all we have. There's probably about 10 minutes left for questions. Again, vote on our ideas forum, so aka.ms stream ideas. We would love to get your feedback. And so if you didn't get one of our little flyers here, it's kind of just a little pamphlet about Microsoft Stream, just so you can remember. You can go ahead and grab one from the front. Any other questions? Otherwise, we can end. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.